Welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio from Taatjes Financial Group. Taatjes Financial is a company that specializes in helping retirees and pre-retirees build purposeful retirement plans. Custom plans that not only help clients steward their treasure, but their time and talent as well. They believe that if you're taken care of financially, you go even further to make the family, community, and kingdom impact you truly desire to make, which is the ultimate purpose of wealth. If you'd like to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting with one of their financial advisors, give them a call at 222-4236. You can request a meeting at taatjesfinancial.com or simply stop by their office on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer. All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Jared Sebesta joining you on another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. Hope you're having a great day and a great week here so far. Hey, we had a big weekend last weekend. The third annual Lakes Area Paddle Battle Pickleball Tournament took place on Saturday morning. All the proceeds going to Youth for Christ right here in Wilmer. Ben Taatjes joins me on the show. And another great event planned, another great event executed, and another great charity with some money in its pocket.
Yeah, Jared, I remember we started that. We were sitting around the table doing kind of a team meeting, and we're like, oh, what do retirees want to do? And we always have, our group does 4 impact events for the community a year, and this has become kind of an annual one that we continue to do over and over. And it was, how can we impact retirees, and what do they like to do? And at the time, pickleball was just kind of picking up.
Really heating up, yeah.
And it's actually become some retirees. There's a lot of young people, too, that are pickleball. I think that's the cool thing of the sport is it does allow somebody that's in their 70s, wink, wink, my dad, to kick my butt in pickleball. Yep. And I think that's fun because it one of the things that, is on my heart is always, how do I get more retirees involved with younger people? Mm-hmm. And another example of that was the pickleball tournament. We saw people of all ages doing that, and I think we're all better off when we have more of that age group in our life.
Yeah. You can tell the people who know how to play, it's like the older people, and they're not really moving a lot, not sweating at all. And then you have teenagers and 20 and 30-year-olds running around and getting their butt kicked. So that's a
You're
great.
Sweating and they're huffing and puffing and the guy sitting back there, dink, dink, hitting back and forth and barely moving.
That's the thing I don't understand. It's like the better you are, the less you're actually moving. So I don't know. I haven't figured the sport out. But for people that supported, came out and played, helped spread the message on this event, we give you one big thanks and a big stay tuned because this will most likely definitely come back again for 2025. All right, we got a couple of weeks left here to round out 2024. We were talking a little year-end planning and giving last week on the show, a little gratitude talk. What do people need to know now as we're really getting close to the end of the year, halfway through December?
A couple of things, I think, Jared. I think one of the things that I want to highlight for people is we did have a great year. I mean, the markets did very, very well overall, and certainly what tends to creep in times like that is complacency. Complacency on 2 fronts. Complacency, one on, I just lose that sense of gratitude for how good we have it, right? We have it great. For most people listening to this show, anybody listening to this show, I mean, you're in the wealthiest country in the world. We have a lot to be thankful for, so that we get complacent as if these things just happen, and we kind of forget to be grateful for that. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think of that. But I think the other piece that we're complacent about is like, oh yeah, we got short memories. People don't remember that it wasn't that long ago that uncertainty was really, really high.
Yes.
And we had, I go back to like 20 years in this industry, Jared, and the pattern that continues to come in is things go extremely well, and then there's that event or there's that market cycle, whatever it is, that comes into place. And I'm not making any predictions, would never do that. Other than that, something always tends to happen, and people need to be educated, and I guess have their expectations managed to that point, not start to make decisions based on greed, right? And that things are always going to go up, and I see this one hot stock, and I want to keep, can I get more? Can I get money of that in that stock? And when you start to see that mentality play out, I tend to feel like, we should probably take a step back, look at, number one, how good things were, but then also look at rebalancing, look at the tried and true things that over time work, and that can be part of this year-end look.
So what should people be doing right now? Is it more of like a bigger picture? Is it planning for things perhaps to go up, perhaps things to go down? Like how do you look at this next year without kind of the scarcity mentality or the Eeyore mentality of like, well, it's going to get worse from here? Like, how do you balance that mindset and still be planning for growth?
Yeah, I don't think that, I certainly don't want people to be in a scarcity mindset. I'm always about abundance. It's a lot over time. I mean, as the market historically, if you're in it long enough, things go up, and that's a very, that's a good mentality to think, but that doesn't mean it goes straight up, Jared. And I don't make predictions, never have and never will, because I don't know. So I think it really starts with understanding, and that's a great, at the end of the year, do an inventory. I love doing what I call a capital asset allocation plan, and it's a full capital allocation plan. So what that includes is not just looking at that pie chart that your financial person may show you about so much in stocks or bonds or this kind of stock, that kind of bond, but it needs to come down deeper to that to say my full capital allocation plan is the total of what I'm stewarding. That's that first question of the big three questions we ask our clients is, what's the total that you're stewarding? We need to know how it's titled, what the risk properties are, and essentially, what is it? A lot of people, Jared, you'd be surprised, that don't fully understand even what they have. And you need to start there, because otherwise, when things do go the other way, you can get caught off guard. Say, well, I didn't know that I had, over the last couple of years, allowed so much money to be in one side of the market. Well, I didn't know that. Well, you start by knowing and understanding what you have, and then you make informed decisions from there.
So once we get to that point, we understand how much we have. Do you start doing some, risk tolerance calculations or modeling? What's that actually look like?
Well, we do. I mean, everybody needs to understand what they're comfortable with. It comes down to their plan, and just because that you're a younger person doesn't mean you should take a lot of risk, or an older person you shouldn't take any, right? And I think that's the beauty of a full view capital allocation plan. Somebody may have a nice land portfolio and then a retirement account. Well, if they're looking at their land portfolio as, if you will, their safe side, that's their recurring revenue, and that's historically been a pretty steady asset to own with consistent income, that may look for that client like the bond portfolio in their retirement account. So then let's be a little more aggressive with the equities. I've got clients that do that, and they look at their retirement account, as we've talked about on this show many times, as their charitable trust, if you will. It's money that they're planning on giving to charity someday. And they're more aggressive with that because they know that their needs are met with their pension or their Social Security and their land rent or whatever it is. So each and every person needs to have a specific risk tolerance or goal for each of those assets. So it doesn't, the traditional methodology is let's come with a risk profile for the client, we'll just manage that risk. And I agree with that, but it needs to be a step further and say for each asset that they own, whether that be in the market or outside and non-liquid, that all needs to come into that plan.
All right, Ben, that sounds good. Well, if you want to get your end of the year planning started right now is that time. Give Taatjes Financial a call at 222-4236. You can request a meeting online at taatjesfinancial.com. And like I said, if you are in the neighborhood, please feel free to stop by their office located on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer. And just a quick reminder before I let you go, we have a brand new episode of Retiree Purpose coming up later this week. Ben Taatjes and I talk about our year, and how challenges come into play and help us get better in our lives and certainly in the lives of retirees. That's coming up this Friday right here on KWLM at 4:30. I'm Jared Sebesta, joining you in this episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Securities offered through Avantax Investment Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Avantax Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through an Avantax affiliated insurance agency.